CMPRadio.net, man. You know we're live. It's Friday, so you already know what's on deck, man. I'm talking to the cast of Voices from the Street, man. Coach G Code, OG Gio, and you already know I'm here, right? Uncle P. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, P? We in the building, baby. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me.
Hey, man. I'm straight, man. You know, Sixers lost last night. I feel good. You know,
Damn.
all is well with the world.
Oh, you got a Sixer
It's funny,
hat.
yeah. This motherfucker
Sixer
got
hat
Sixer
on.
hat on. Talking about he feel good.
Sixer colors, and you saying you feel good.
That's the type of shit I do. I'm an asshole like that.
Asshole like that.
Yeah, I'm an asshole like that, bro.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the game. Y'all went to the game. Y'all saw the game. What happened, man? I didn't watch it. I said after the last game, I watched the last game, they lost, and I didn't watch the last game, and they won. The one after that, they won. The one before the game yesterday. So I said I wasn't going to watch it. Maybe they'll win. But it didn't work out that way. So,
Man, listen. Go ahead, Gio.
I mean, shit. I mean, I'm going to say the atmosphere was crazy, bro. It was lit in that joint, you know what I'm saying? It was popping. They was snapping. Like, it was going crazy. That was it from the top. Like, it was lit. Go ahead.
All right.
That was it. It was lit. It was a lit situation.
Man, listen, man. I'm talking about one thing, though. One thing for sure. Two things for certain. First, I'm a Laker fan. To be honest with you, I'm a Laker fan. You know what I'm saying? From the brinks of Kobe Bryant. But at the end of the day, last night, man, I was all Sixers down. You feel me? Enjoying the festivities. Like he said, the atmosphere was crazy. I'm in that joint, man, back and forth with the Knicks fans the whole time. I really don't have so much passion for the team.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, damn, man, these jokers then came down here.
again,
Now I'm saying, I'm like, if it's a crowd of 20,000, it had to be maybe 12 Philly fans and the other 8 had to be New York Knicks fans. And, man, I'm talking about when you say loud crowd roaring, man, them jokers was taking over the building again, man. And whole time the plan was for the owners had bought more tickets,
right,
just so they could disperse them amongst Philly fans.
right.
And that's where, you know, some of these nonprofit organizations such as ours, you know, Mac, shout out to Mac, MACG, baby, making a change. But we benefited off of that.
Right.
But at the same time, it wasn't no match, man, for that damn New York roar, man. They was loud, man. They was really loud, bro. They came on this joint, and you gotta remember, in the Madison Square Garden, their nosebleeds right now is like a nickel. They paying like $500 for the nosebleed seats, so they happy as hell to get down here and paying like $120, you know what I'm saying, $130, maybe $170
For nosebleeds?
for nosebleeds down here.
In the
Yeah,
playoffs?
man, facts, man.
200.
I promise you, man.
200.
Yeah, that joint. We're at.
Up the top.
Yeah.
Well, right in the section.
Philly, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the section we
In
was
Madison
at. In the
Square
section
Garden,
we was at, they was 190.
Yeah, you gotta remember, and that's why all the stars be there. That's why it's so high, because all the stars really be in New York at them games, bro.
right.
You feel me? I'm talking about.
The
Yeah.
nosebleed ain't nowhere near the stars. Like, you ain't going to try
No,
to.
that's what I'm saying.
You in the building.
Being as though it's so. It's so expensive to come there, period, because like you ain't even just paying to watch the game, you paying to be around them stars in New York too. You feel me? Yeah, facts, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. I mean, that's how they looking at it,
Right.
from a marketing standpoint.
Right.
From them, you know, that's what they trying to get that money, regardless of how everything is high, inflated up in New York. Everything is double times what it is down here anywhere else, bro.
The cost of living is crazy.
Yeah, the cost of living is crazy as hell. You getting 2-bedroom apartments, man, for like $2,900, man.
Pack
Up
of
that
Newports
joint, man.
is
Stop
$20.
playing, man. Yeah, man. Well, that's
$20 for a pack.
They're
I
dubbed
quit.
down here now too. Newports. I don't smoke, but I know.
No,
I know
they
some
ain't.
people that do.
They ain't nowhere near $20. Shit. That would have to be $15. They ain't $15. You feel me?
I don't know.
They less than
man.
15.
This man might know better than me. I don't know. I'm gonna just do a carton of Newport.
A carton.
I mean, a box.
A pack.
Oh, a pack. Oh, all right. Yeah.
Like 9 something.
Right. Yeah.
Well, matter of fact, they
I
like
stand
10 hours.
corrected.
They like
I've
10
been
hours.
wrong before.
I know you
Yeah,
have.
they like 10 hours.
I'll be wrong again.
We all have. And you'll be wrong again after that. So what's up, man? What we talking about today, man? We are the voice from the streets. We talked about last week how we're out in the community and how the community can accept, how the community can can help us help them, right? So this week we're talking about what exactly?
What you got, P? You had it in there in the notes earlier, man.
We were talking about beatings versus discipline, right? What is discipline to our children? How can we discipline our children? How should we discipline our children? And how can we help them to see, that everybody in their village is an elder and is not trying to hurt them, but is trying to help them at the same time.
I'm gonna let y'all start with this. Y'all was having a nice conversation on this yesterday.
No, I mean let's start with where you at with, I guess, beating kids. Let's start there. Where you at with beating kids?
I don't have a problem with if it's that bad. You feel me? If it's that much disrespect. If my son was in the school cussing out the teacher, you feel me? That's a beatable situation. You feel me? Like sticking his middle finger up, saying "fuck you," I don't give a fuck. You feel me? Like being that vulgar. That's a beatable situation. If he was out the mall stealing, you feel me? That's a beatable situation. You feel me? Everything doesn't deserve a beating. You feel me? Like, just being a kid.
Let's start that. Let's start with the beating. What constitutes a beating? What are we saying? Let's start with what we saying a beating is. What's a beating?
Not, back when we was younger, man, our parents, some parents, and back further than that, some parents was beating kids with everything. The fucking extension cord, the belt, the switch. My grandma used to tell me to go outside and get a switch off the bush. You feel me? Like, and she would hold that joint all day, and I'd be looking at her like she ain't gonna hit me with that joint. She ain't gonna hit me with that, cause them joints leave whelps.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Seriously. You feel me? But I think now in today's society, there's nothing wrong with a belt, right? It's nothing wrong with just getting a belt, and it's not about beating them till they down on the ground, they crying. It's about you letting them know, listen, your action has consequences. And if you don't learn that, you'll learn that from outside in the world. And the world will teach you that your action has consequences. You feel me? The things that you do will bring the kind of consequences that your thing brought. You feel me? Like, i.e., you shoot somebody, you're going to jail for life. Going to jail for 20 to 40 years. You feel me? Like, ain't nobody going to come up there and talk to you. Now, you got to do those 20 to 40 years the way you got to do those years. You feel me? Like, if you kill somebody, you feel me? You go in there for life. You're in there for life. There's no reversing that. You feel me? Like, if you out there doing disrespectful things, you taking things, you beating up on women, you going to go to jail. You're going to have to deal with that. Or you might get an ass whooping yourself. You feel me? So there are consequences for all actions. Even positive action has consequences. You feel me? Things you have to deal with later. Helping somebody. Now, you don't have money to pay your bills. You feel me? So understand this. If you teach your kids young, and if you start early, you don't have to beat your kids. You don't. I think I beat my son one time, bro, in his whole life. It was a major situation, but, one time. And you see my son, he's very respectful. You see everybody, what's going on, he speak to you, but he doesn't allow you to play with him. And I told him that. Don't allow nobody to talk to you crazy. Don't allow nobody your age. You feel me? Adults, when they come to you, they're telling you not to do something. If he looks like he has an attitude or if he tries to put his hand in his face, tell me. I'll go talk to him. You say, okay, all right, no problem. And you back down. There's nothing wrong with that. I think telling my son that and showing him that through that beating that he got, he now understands, I can't be in school acting a fool. That's not why my dad sends me to school. That's not why my mom sends me to school. I got to continue to be who I am, right? And make sure that's a good person. So actions have consequences. My dad taught it to me. I make sure. My dad taught it to me with his fist, though. You feel me? He beat me down. No problem. Big 6'6" Haitian, get to talking crazy. And I'm looking at him, he's like, don't do that. But he would always come after the beating. He would always come and talk to me. Listen, this is what you did. I didn't like this. Don't do that, and you won't get this. Consequences, actions. What do you want? You feel me? So that's how I think it should happen. And if you're not starting young with your children, if you're not talking to your children when they're very young, you'll miss out on that opportunity when they get older because they done got away with it for so long. There are two responses when you don't like something. You either say something or you don't say anything. And if you don't say anything, that's telling the kid that you don't have a problem with it. So they act on it. And kids want correction. You feel me? They desire correction. They desire leadership. They desire all these things. So when you don't give it, they search. What else can I do? I mean, you start off stealing from the market. You steal some gum. Mom don't say nothing. Dad don't say nothing. Now you still not a mom and dad pocketbook. Then you go out into the world. You stealing from the store. Then you start hanging in the street. You start robbing motherfuckers and doing crazy shit, right? If don't nobody never say nothing, the consequences from all of that gonna come from that nigga you just robbed, because he gonna come back and take your head off. You feel me? It's like, oh man, he was a good dude. Not really. If you really think about it, you feel me? Like a good dude to you, but he wasn't good to him. So you know, consequences have actions have consequences. So that's where I'm at with it. How about you?
I agree with 99% of everything you said. Only thing except for kids want correction. I disagree with that, and you know, to each his own. But I mean, they need correction for sure. But most kids, for real, they want to get away with anything that they can get away with. You know what I'm saying? They don't want no trouble. They don't want to be corrected. They don't want to be guided until you show them, until they actually had the consequences, like you said, what comes after somebody letting you get away with something and you got to deal with it, and somebody else going to deal with you, whether it be them hurting you or you getting in trouble by the law, or so be it. You know what I mean? But for the most part, yeah, like, and how I feel about, you know, kids growing up. Shit, I got them ass whippings too from Mom Dukes. You know what I'm saying? Even from Dad wasn't around much, but the times when I was over in his care, I still remember running around the car on him. And whatever that lesson was, I don't remember exactly what the lesson was, but I know for sure I didn't want that motherfucking feeling that I still remember at this big age right now of him chasing me around that car. I did something disrespectful. I forgot exactly what it was at 6, 7 years old, you know what I'm saying? But I still remember he chased me around the car. That was that important for him to, you know what I'm saying, chastise me at that time. You feel me? Shit, but I can definitely say that you know, as far as with my, you know, raising my 2 biological sons, which now they 24 and 19, I didn't really have to, you know, beat them much, but they got beatings too. Beatings was, for me, wasn't me picking up no switches or anything like how it was back in the day. It was just, you know, a couple little, you know what I mean, nice firm stiff punches to the arm, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that, whereas though just trying to get them in check and understand, you feel me, you know. Granted that, like you said, so I started at not too young, because it's only so much trouble that a 5-year-old could get into that you feel like you really got to put your hands on. If at the end of the day they respected me, you know what I'm saying, they respected their moms to a degree, of course, you know what I mean. And with that being said, like, you know, getting a little older, it didn't have to be, I didn't have to be physical with them at all. Like, it would just be a stern, yo, listen, you know what I'm saying, one of them Jones, and get them right back in check. Of course they had issues. Of course they still was doing things, you know what I'm saying, that required attention, required some discipline. You know what I mean? Once we started, I remember you were saying this yesterday, Gio. Sometimes we, I think the word you used was like we overcompensate. Basically, we just spoiled them, giving them too much and stuff like that, because of what we didn't get when we was kids. Like now, you know, I might not been able to have the Jordans and shit like that when I was a kid, but I can buy them for my sons. So I felt you on that. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? You never realize how much of just different ways of parenting that you might wish you could have had coming up, being a parent, or just certain things that you wish you would have instilled in you know, trying to raise your kids, until you hear somebody else, another father as yourself, might mention, like, damn, maybe I did do a little bit too much of that. Damn, maybe I missed something along the way. Maybe, you know what I mean? But granted, thank God, you know, I still have some respectful children, and they out here in a society where as though ain't nobody looking at them like they are fearful of them, you know what I'm saying, harming them or anything like that. I always try to make sure that I ain't no perfect father at all, nowhere near. And there's some things that I wish I could have done differently with them growing up, but I can honestly say that I'm glad that they didn't. I tried my best, and I did keep them away from the path that I came up on, as far as, you know what I'm saying, being in the streets, you know what I'm saying, hustling and bustling, and, you know, getting with the wrong type of crowds and shit like that, and trying to fit in, trying to be a thug, trying to be a so-called gangster to a degree, you know what I mean? So I could say that I'm glad that they definitely avoided those situations and those trials and tribulations coming up, man. So You know what I mean? And, oh, yeah, my fault, P. One thing to applaud you on, again, like you said, when you catch them younger, you don't have to, when you catch them younger and chastise them, you don't have to really apply too much of that when they get older because they didn't already got,
They didn't already
experience
that. Right,
yeah.
right,
So,
right.
yeah, I mean, pass it on to GL.
Yeah. I mean, you already know like where I stand with it, cause you know what I mean, we had these conversations multiple times.
Absolutely.
I'm like solidly against like really beating kids. You know what I'm saying? In any fashion, for real. Like I'm more of the having them think their way out of situation as of being fearful of doing a situation because of like, you see what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I don't do this because in fear of getting hit or getting beat. And plus I don't think like that really worked. You know what I'm saying? I know, see like stuff like this, I trying to liken it to me. That type of thing didn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing made me harder and made me more, you know what I'm saying, once you get to a point where it doesn't affect you anymore. What do you do now as a parent? Because especially like as a woman, let's take a woman for example, as a mom, and she got a son, and her thing of getting him in line is beating him. How long can that woman actually be effective in beating him to the point where it means something? You know
Yeah, because eventually he's gonna be.
You dig what I'm
bigger than
saying?
her. He ain't gonna be. She ain't gonna be able to beat him no more.
It don't even do nothing.
You're looking at, come
it ain't,
on, mom,
it ain't
like,
nothing.
Yeah,
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I dig that. I respect. I understand that.
You done hardened him to that point now. Now disciplining him is pretty much out the window. The extreme measure has already been given, and it's been given over a long period of time. What's your next step?
Right.
It ain't nowhere to go after that. Like after he not listening to you beating him,
now you try to talk him into reasoning.
it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's nothing really for us to discuss. I'm not trying to hear what you're
Right.
talking about.
True story.
There's nothing you can do at that
story.
point. So, like that's why, like I'm thinking, like especially for me, I never beat my kids. You feel me? Never. You know what I'm saying? If they mom, I got daughters. I mean, I'm really against dads disciplining little girls, physically, like wholly against that. So I got multiple daughters, and I got a few sons, but I got multiple daughters. And I leave that to their mom. Like, I beat my son up. I never gave him a beating. Like, when he to the age or whatever, I beat him up. Like, you a man now, and you can go ahead and square up if that's how you feel. Against real rap against your father. I'm your father. I gave you life. I mean, I raised you. If you feel that bad about it, square up. Like, I never beat him, like, raising him to discipline him. With me, it's more of a speaking to him thing.
Right.
Really locking in and being stern. I get aggressive, you know what I'm saying? I get mad, and they know, like, when I'm mad. So, but the beating thing, that wasn't really my thing.
Right, that's good, man.
It didn't work. I know it didn't work for me. It didn't work for my brother. Right. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work for my cousin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our moms did that shit, you know what I'm saying?
So when a mom beats you, it's not really, you know what I mean? As a boy, you feel me? When your mom has to beat you and your dad ain't breaking his foot off in your ass, it's different. You know what I mean? Because you see that your mom really don't want to do this. You understand what I'm saying? So she not really stern. When your dad whoop your ass, bro, he ain't got no problem with doing it. And don't do it again. That's why it's always wait till dad come home. You know what I mean? But the dads they disappeared. You feel me? They were locked up. They were different places. It was a whole bunch of things out in the street that had them disarrayed, right? They weren't able to be real dads, right? So I had an incident with my daughter, Zaria. She got in trouble in kindergarten for just constantly, the teacher was calling home, Zaria doesn't sit down, Zaria, da-da-da-da-da. I said, okay, all right. Well, I told her mom, I said, if I come down there and say something to her, I'm going to put her across my knee and let her feel this belt. You feel me? Because I'm tired of talking to her. I didn't talk to her. You didn't talk to her. We got a couple different joints. You feel me? So if I come, I'm strictly going to put her across my knee and hit her on her butt. I'm not going to hit her on her arms, not going to hit her on her legs. Her butt going to be sore. Grandma called me before mom got home, and she was like, listen, Zaria got another note from the teacher. I said, I'm on my way. Came down there, whap, 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 10 times. That's it. Bang. I have not had a problem out of Zaria at school. She's in the 4th grade. She gets green lights every day. You feel me? She behaves herself in class. And all her mom got to say, you want me to call your dad? No. So that fear is put there, right? If I do this, this is the reaction. This is the consequence I'm going to get. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go there. You feel me? So it's healthy, but I understand when people say it's unhealthy because there are some parents that use the beating because they're having a bad day. There are some parents that get drunk and beat, and burn, and scold, and yell. You feel me? But I'm not coming from a drunk situation. I'm not coming from a fucked up situation. I'm coming from, I need you to listen to the teacher. And if you don't listen to the teacher and it comes home to me, these are your consequences. It's structure. Do this, get this. Do that, get that. And you don't want that. So guess what? Never again have we ever had any problem at the school. And if it is a problem, it's fixed real quick. I'm going to call your dad. That's all her mom got to say. I'm going to call your dad. Don't worry about it. No, mom, don't call my dad. Don't. But my daughter, I'm about to go pick her up in a couple minutes. She know I love her. You feel me? And after that, I sat her down and we had a nice conversation. See, your actions are causing me to behave this way. If you don't go to school and pay attention and let the teacher do her job, I have to act like this, and I don't want to act like this. I want to take you shopping. I want to hang out with you. I want to go to amusement parks with you. I want to laugh and joke with you, but I can't do that if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So this is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. So if you go the right way, we won't never crash into each other. But if you get to acting all crazy on the road, you definitely going to crash into me, and we're going to have that problem. So,
and that's dope because what you basically said, which both of y'all right, it's obvious that it's different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? Some structure, the way the delivery of it, the way it's going down, like it, the two-parent household as well, having both parents actively involved in the kid's life. And with the parents co-parenting on a team basis, that shit is so important. You know what I'm saying? Important. So with that being said, I can actually overstand both situations, both of where y'all coming from. You know what I'm saying? That, if that worked for you, P, and your daughter and your son, that's amazing, bro. So now you only gave out one beating per child, right? And they got their shit together. You know what I'm saying? Of course, along the way, it's going to be some hiccups come here and there, but for the most part, she still has got in her conduct in order. Whereas though, you ain't really got to worry about her getting out of line in class. She green lighting on the behavioral sheet daily, weekly, and that's awesome, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, like I said, I felt where Gio was coming from too. Whereas though, I'm locking in, speaking to you so much, and instilling so much of the of the knowledge that he got and how things works and didn't work for him, that eventually, you're going to have to really understand and lock in and be on this path, or you're going to have to deal with your own consequences of you know what I'm saying, I'm locking in. Pay attention. Like, sometimes it's crazy our kids get it a little later on and then feel like, damn, I should have been listening to dad. I should have been listening to mom. You know what I'm saying? So we are all products of P, I don't know. You basically, I know. Matter of fact, I do know. You told me shit. Obviously, dad was there.
Dad was
there.
You know
what I mean? I could remember a couple occasions that dad was there for me as a child. You know what I mean? But I can remember them. Y'all know I'm a football player. Started off at 11, playing in the yard since 6 and 7, but really started reffing the whistle at 11. And dad, out of 10 games a year, 11 games a year, dad showed up to 1. You know what I'm saying? If that, some years. So dad wasn't around for me as much. I can remember them couple times he was, but rest his soul, before he died, he was a better friend.
Right.
And a better grandfather to my kids.
Absolutely.
Opposed to how he was as a dad. So with them broken households and you not really getting that guidance from a good male figure in your life, now you know how it is with everybody else. We don't really, it ain't too many, even way back, we talking the 80s, ain't too many men willing to step up and take on the responsibility of another knucklehead little boy that ain't his child and be on, ain't too many. You know what I mean? It may have been, it's some, don't get it twisted, different strokes for different folks. But I didn't have no other father figure in my life that really was concerned about me enough for them to really worry about me doing right or not. men who came in my mom's life and our life was worried about my fucking mom. They ain't really worried about your kids. You dig what I'm saying? So I ain't really get the real guidance from a father. And then when we did, you know, when he did have me under his care, if I did the slightest thing wrong or whatever like that, you know, you want to, you know, it wasn't like I always wanted to beat me or nothing like that. Nah, he wanted to talk about the shit. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit still and listen to dad now. But shit, he ain't going to be, I know in my head, I can't wait till he drop me off. Right. You feel me? I know how to act around mom just to get outside again. Right. You feel me? All I got to do is be cool, mom. Can I go outside? My homework done, this and that. And now I'm running with the older motherfuckers getting in whatever they getting in. Playing release, running around, stealing chips from Frito-Lay and stealing bikes from the white Parkside kids and all of the above. But bring it all back to, I don't know, Gio, if you care to speak on that or not. Was Pops around like that for you? Or, you know, in fact, you already said it. Basically, shit, y'all had one dad that y'all really looked up to amongst, you know, over 8, 9, 10 of your homies. Yeah. So Pops wasn't really around much for you. So, you know, we had to learn how to be fathers on the fly. Yep. You know what I'm saying? As the kids was born.
I mean, that's where I say, like, when we was talking yesterday, where we overcompensate at.
Yeah.
Like, us who grew up like that and we didn't have nobody to do this, we feel the need. This is how we get ourselves in a lot of trouble. Because we feel the need to provide and give every little thing that we never had, thinking that that's the reason why we wasn't happy.
No.
Because that's what was missing. Nah, that wasn't what was missing. You just said it. If main man even came through half the time, that was enough.
Right.
See what I'm saying? But we as men, we don't be feeling like that. We don't feel like comfortable with coming around if we ain't got nothing. As a man, that's what they instilled in us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Since we was a kid, we got to provide, we got to give. See, women always say, well, just spend time with your son. Just come and spend some time with him. But yeah, that also comes with a price to come there and be there and do that. And when you're not there and you don't have that paper, dudes just don't come around. I mean, when they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And the woman left to deal with it. And back to the beating thing.
Right.
Like, for me, bro, it's like instilling fear. And I don't like what that can do.
Right.
I don't like where that can go. Like, prime example, let's give an example of a man and a woman who got a kid and the kid live with the mom. And you the guy. And you beat the kid or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and going with P's logic, the fear thing, you know what I'm saying? They fearful of what it is. So it's you do something or whatever, I'm gonna call dad. It's automatic. No, don't. No. So what about the instances I see that you want that for them extreme measures? What about the times when you're not around, when she do a little dumb shit in the house and the mom is, oh, you want me to call your dad? Or she want her to go to bed, you want me to call your dad? And that fear thing is kicked in again.
Right.
She's scared. No, I don't want her to be scared of me like that.
Right.
I want my kids to be scared of me like that. I want it to be when they say they gonna call their dad, yeah, he gonna come and he gonna be mad and he definitely gonna be mean with me and stern with me, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's gonna be a thing where it's a lesson thing. I ain't about to be pulling up to this house because you call and beating my baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the time frame we in right now too. It ain't no now you going to jail for if you being too physical with your own kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just really what it is. If the wrong person see it, and next thing you know, CYS is getting involved, and you really can go to jail. But I ain't gonna lie, man, and of course I'll never expose these parents at all, but I have some, with our caseloads, the people that we deal with, it's some parents that really know for sure. They done told me in so many words that they on their last straw with CYS, basically. Like, you feel me? They done already got some calls coming through from the kid. The kid's so damn bad, and they probably actually deserve an ass whipping. But from however, something got lost in the content of disciplining and kicking ass to the point now the CYS is involved, and they so worried that they need the help from you know, the mentorship, the things that we provide. Because if it go a different way, the next ass kicking could turn into them actually losing their child and them going to jail, whatever the case may be.
But that's what I mean by physically.
Yeah,
physically disciplining your kid is the extreme measure.
Yes, no doubt. And now these times of day, you ain't allowed to do that.
I'm saying even if you do, like, again, where do you go after that?
After what?
After beating,
Right.
where do you go?
Now, it's kind of hard to now just stick to. I mean, to try to just.
Now
I got to just talk to you,
Yeah.
or try
Yeah,
to
where do you go?
Basically, you want to have the type of bond where as though you don't have to be physical at all, so they can have the type of understanding that you shouldn't have to be scared or fearful of what I would do to you for you to act right.
Yeah, see,
That doesn't apply to anybody.
no, but this is the thing,
Fear is what keeps you in line. Fear of going to jail, fear of dying keeps people from hustling and doing crazy things. We didn't have that fear of dying
No.
or going to jail,
Okay, hold up.
which is why we did what we did.
All right, I counter that with love, bro.
Love from who?
Nah, you said you don't do something because you fear going to
Right,
jail. I
right.
say you don't do something because you love being out here.
Yeah, you got it's.
I'm not. I mean,
But we're
I'm not afraid.
It's
I love
two sides
being
of
out
that.
here.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't.
it ain't-
I'm not
right.
fear. I don't do not what I do because of fear in there. I love being here.
It just feel better
When
being outside.
When I say fear of going to jail, it's the fear of losing your freedom.
Right.
It's the fear like that. That's a healthy. That's fear. If you're not scared of losing your freedom, you'll continue to do what you were doing before, because we understand that what we were doing before was way more beneficial to us personally than what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
There was money to be made, there were statuses to be made, there was people to do things and all types of things that came with that lifestyle that we do not indulge in now.
fact.
Right? And
For me,
that's-
it ain't fear though.
Right.
Personally, for me personally, it's not fear at all. Like I ain't afraid to go to jail. Put me anywhere, any cell, and I shall prevail. If another man survived, I shall as well. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that a motherfucker don't want to go to jail at all. Of course not. Not going to jail never
But you had
was
to go
or
to jail.
would
You
be
had
cool.
you had to go to jail to figure out that you didn't want to go to jail.
Shit, no, I didn't. I ain't have to go to jail to figure I ain't want to go. Who the hell want to leave the freedom anyway? Nobody wants to leave. Let me speak for a second. Here you go. I'm saying it on this from this aspect. I never had to be afraid of somewhere I didn't really want to go, mainly because I'm so happy to be where I'm at. You understand what I'm saying? Like it just feels so good to be able to go to the store on my own and go get a fresh soft drink, and you know and I ain't got no time limit on when I gotta be in a certain bathroom locked up with another individual. Like, you know what I'm
But
saying?
you had to experience all that other stuff to know what you have now, right? Sometimes you have to lose things so you know what you had out in the street, right? So for me,
Different strokes for different
Right,
folks.
absolutely.
But it was
For me-
for me personally, it wasn't fear. It was just, damn, it just feel better to do this over here opposed to putting myself in positions crazy. All right.
do you see fear as a bad word? Is fear a bad word?
Fear is fear. No, fear is what it is. I don't have a good or bad word about fear. I just,
How about you, Gio?
It's
You
just
see
a
fear-
real,
Say it
it's a
again.
flat
Do you
out
see
word.
fear as a bad word? Is fear?
I don't
something-
at all. It's just a real word.
It's hampering. Fear is hampering. Me, I'm unafraid, bro.
I'm afraid of everything.
That's why I move how I move. I live without fear, bro. Like, I'm not afraid to fail. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of life. I'm not afraid of what'll happen when I walk outside. I'm not afraid of what somebody that I did nothing to is just going up and do to me for no reason. Like, I don't live my life like that, bro. I'm not afraid. I'm not in fear. You know what I'm saying? Fear slows you down. Fear holds you back.
If you allow it to, it definitely will slow you down.
That's what it does.
But I think it's more of a teacher than it is anything else. Like fear will let you know what's on the other side.
Right. I mean, but why do you have to be afraid of something to know you shouldn't just do it?
You're afraid of failure. That's why you strive for success. You're afraid of being homeless. That's why you work. You're afraid of not having enough money. That's why you do what you do.
No.
You're afraid
No.
of
That might be
No.
just you, P.
No,
And you might not be the only person in the world that feel that way.
I
but
live. I have.
because we wouldn't do what we did.
No,
we
I
wouldn't
do.
work
No,
if we weren't scared to be homeless on the street.
No.
Now, P, you got to be okay with understanding that everybody might not feel like
yeah,
you.
I get that. I
You
get
got to
that.
be
I get
open-minded
that.
enough to
Absolutely.
know that
Yeah,
these are
yeah.
not everybody else's
No, but I'm
motivations
just saying
behind it.
to say you don't fear anything is
Right.
That's crazy to me.
How's it crazy?
To me,
Well, he said that.
No, what
to
I'm
me.
no, what I'm saying is okay.
Right.
I fear bullets.
You saying I fear? You saying no? I've been shot. I don't fear that. So what I'm saying is, you saying you got a house because you're afraid of being homeless. I got a house because I love sleeping in beds, not because I'm afraid of being homeless. I do this stuff because I love. You see what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of the other side of it. I do this because I love it. I got a house because I love sleeping in a bed. I got a car because I don't like walking. Not because I'm afraid of walking. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like but that's just me. That's just me, bro.
Right, I'm not
maybe
knocking
maybe I'm different than other people.
I mean,
I don't know.
we know everybody's different, bro. Everybody
Yeah.
has a different brain. We don't all have the same brain or the same. We don't deal with the same.
Nah,
things
because
the
like
same
you
way.
said, before, you said you got to go through things to understand the other side.
Yeah, you do.
I done been through everything.
Right.
So why would I fear anything? What is it that you can go through I ain't been through except dying?
But
So why would I be afraid of anything?
I think where y'all got me messed up is thinking like I put a lot on fear. I don't give a fuck about fear. I don't, right? But I know it exists, right? And because I can say I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be fucked up. I don't want to be that person. I can put it in the room of fear and leave it there and not open the door again. Like these are the things that I'm scared of not having enough money to take care of something. This is in me as a person, like that's why I work as hard as I do. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm where I am. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So because of that, that's not the reason why I do it, right? But it's there. So yeah, I got to pay attention to that, right?
Well,
And that's just me.
Yeah, me personally, like I'm afraid of bullets. I don't want to feel bullets. You know, granted, like I came up in times where I felt like I always had to carry a gun. You know what I mean? I didn't. I'm glad I ain't never had to kill nobody.
Right.
And I don't want to. At one time, we was growing up, man, and that was a thing of ours. I'm just being honest.
Right.
Motherfuckers wanted bodies. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, real rap. I'm glad. Thank God that I ain't had to go through that. Real shit. Fuck all the fake ass shit. You know what I mean? But as far as with fear, other than bullets, I actually could say I fear any of my really close loved ones going before me. I'm that selfish, whereas though I'd rather die before them.
Right.
That's the only real. Other than that, I can't. I'm being serious, P. I can admit when I say I'm afraid of feeling bullets.
Right.
I don't want that feeling. You call it what you want. This is me being transparent as hell. At the same time, I ain't afraid to get in a fist fight with a motherfucker who disrespected me.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who you is.
Right.
We gonna rumble as men because it's one thing that I can't allow you to say, and I can't allow myself to look in the mirror and say this motherfucker done done what he wanted you
Right,
to
right,
you and disrespect you. No, I'm a man at the end of the day.
Right.
You feel
Don't
me?
respect
Real
me
rap.
as a man.
Exactly.
Right.
And everything is when you against me, everything turns into a competition. So if I have to defend myself as much as I am afraid of bullets, I feel like you about to try to do some harm to me that way, I have to defend myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go there. Right. I work as a gun violence interventionist because I don't want to see none of these young bulls out here killing each other. We got to be tired of killing each other. We all got the same black skin, man. That shit corny. We all, for real, got so much in common than we even think we do.
And this small
You know what I'm
city, we
saying?
all related for real.
It ain't. We've been taught the worst fucking game coming up that we all against each other, and that's the stupidest shit. So we don't even know how long we gonna sit here and allow these kids and these young boys and these grown ups, even people my age and a little bit older and younger, are still playing this dumbass game that we thought was a fucking was a trend that needed to be. This shit don't need to be. We ain't gotta fucking compete against each other with death.
No, we don't.
The fuck you mean? We do not have to compete against each other with death. That's bullshit. That's one of my biggest fears, and that's why I'm in this line of work today. You feel me? At the end of the day, G.O., man, I admire your intelligence so much I could say this in front of America if I could. because you said this, man. You know how weak it is for another motherfucking man to feel like if another man disagrees with him or says something to him, that it automatically makes him feel like now we gotta go into some fucking physical confrontation. Whereas though all the motherfucker was doing was speaking his truth. And now we're not talking about everything is not disrespect. No, disrespect shouldn't be tolerated by anybody because respect is due to any human being in the world. To goes on to say respect is even due to a dog. But at the same time, why the fuck as men, as young men, older men as well, I'm talking about people my age, a little younger, a little older, don't matter. Why the fuck are we so fucking sensitive? That's really what most of all this shit be going on and start the issues. Because niggas can't even take you having a real fucking conversation with them and you deferring or feeling differently than what the fuck, how they feel. Y'all just having a disagreement that you can't even just talk that out. Even if you telling him, all right, homie, I don't play like that. Let's keep that there. Fuck the ego. The man say he don't want you disrespecting him like that. Now you feel like you got played in front of everybody. Now you bucking up. That shit is sensitive. Just have a discussion. It ain't that deep. If I said something to Gio, if Gio said something to me, man, we didn't already just us getting to know each other on a different, level with the working together. We learn. I say something to him and said before, I don't like that. He all right with it. He say the same with me. Nah, good brother. And guess what? It be the end of it. Don't matter who around, what's going on. You feel me? Because we can laugh and joke and play all day, but we gonna respect each other like grown fucking adults. You know what I'm saying? Real rap.
So that's an adult trait.
Yeah, you gotta have that. Then you gotta be thick-skinned enough too to also say that, you know what, this brother, it wasn't that deep. But if it was a disrespectful incident, then just let a motherfucker know, man. Look, I don't know how you play with other motherfuckers, but I don't play like that. I don't want to feel disrespected, bro. And let's keep it at that. As a man, you should be able to say,
my fault.
I respect that,
Absolutely.
and that's it.
Right.
It's cowardly, honestly, to feel like, what you mean you disrespect with it? Man, I just told you what I meant, bro.
Right.
Why we can't just leave it at that? Now they gotta go to somewhere it don't need to go because two grown-ass individuals had a disagreement. Come on, man. Some of that shit is too sensitive. A nigga calling you out your name, disrespecting you, your family, your people, your woman, your kids, that's another story, no doubt. But small-ass shit I done seen, big-ass beefs, go and trickle on and go into motherfuckers' blood being shed and people getting killed over some bullshit ass, sensitive ass motherfuckers, man. You feel me? Real rap. Niggas is too sensitive. It should be all right. I seen a meme I swear to God, I seen not a meme, a video on Instagram, man. I know some people seen this, right? Bull was at the stop sign. The Indian boy crossed the street. He didn't care that the guy moved up a little. The car moved up. Black Bull in the car. You could tell he was recording the Indian guy. Indian guy walked all the way back to the car and said to him, right? He said, brother, you're not supposed to move up this far. Your car, look, the white line is for the people that's walking by. Black Bull surprised as hell. Who the fuck, how this probably 5'6", 120 pounds soaking wet Indian motherfucker talking to me this way. He never showed who the black guy was. You could tell by his voice he was one of us. Right. He said, man, is you serious, man? The Indian guy started walking off. He came back. He said, yes, I'm serious. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not used to this is just grown folks talking. No, I don't, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm not saying it that way. I'm just telling you. Mind you, I know the bull driving know that he ain't supposed to cross the line, but we ain't trying to hear that shit because we already got our own agendas, we already got our own egos and all that. Man, it was so thorough that with the Indian bull, how he was handling it, man. He said, oh, please, you're not going to get out your car. You don't want to harm me or nothing, do you? You know what I'm saying? I'm just having a grown folk conversation with you. Right. Man, the black boy couldn't do nothing but laugh, man. He couldn't do nothing but laugh because at the end of the day, man, guess what? Even if you disagree with what this motherfucker saying, he right now. You moved all the way up. You passed the line where the guy could walk by. It ain't that deep. He pointing you out on you being wrong. You know what I'm saying? He could have just kept it going and minding his business, but it was just, my example is that, you was in the wrong. A motherfucker came approached you that didn't want violence. He just was correcting you, which he didn't have to. Right. You know what I'm saying? He could have went on about his day because that could have escalated and went the wrong way. Ultimately, Indian motherfucker could have lost his life if he fucking with the wrong nigga. We all know this. But it was just still was dope because the motherfucker didn't overreact. He didn't go there. He didn't pick on the little motherfucker that he know he could have probably mopped the ground with and go extra. And the Indian guy made him feel like, you know what, we got to come into the type of space and place where we could be okay with somebody just correcting us when we a little wrong, man. It ain't that damn deep. You shouldn't have to want to take my life or beat me down because of this. You know what I'm
So
saying?
if you had to judge that the person in the car, would you say he comes from a place where he's been corrected in his life?
Well, I didn't know him. He didn't say much, but like I said, you could tell motherfucker was from the hood and he was a black motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He was recording it, period, because he couldn't believe that this Indian motherfucker then came back up on him talking crazy. It was obvious his second time coming back to the car. Absolutely. He walked away and walked all the way back. He's like, what? Okay, you recording me? Are you not going to get out and harm me or anything? Are you? No, I'm just having a grown folk conversation. Indian boy wasn't talking like in fear and judging or none of that shit like black mom. Nah, he just saying basically he know how shit could go and how shit usually might go, but we ain't got to always rumble each other because a motherfucker correcting you or just talking to you. He didn't disrespect him in no type of way, man. And that's how motherfuckers, young bulls, a lesson right now that I want to put out as I spilt that whole 5-minute, rant, and everything just really comes from, when I'm thinking of it at the time in my mind, and sometimes I'll be racing around just trying to get the fucking message off. I'm going to get the floor back. But what I'm saying basically, man, every fucking situation doesn't deserve you to handle shit with anger. You to handle it with fucking being physical, harming a motherfucker, pulling your ratchet out, threatening the motherfucker life. It ain't always gotta be that. Some shit really could be talked about with both of y'all still maintaining y'all integrity and y'all respect as men. It ain't gotta always go, oh, he trying to play me. Let me show him who the fucking toughest nigga in the gorilla is. You know what I'm saying? Who the toughest nigga in the motherfucking ghetto is what I'm trying to say. Ain't always got to go there, man. Sometimes you really can talk shit out as men where both of y'all can leave with dignity and respect, man. Mm-hmm. Straight like that.
Gio.
Circling back off that. When we, right there. See, that be the thing. That's what I was talking about, right? See, like, it's hard for us to unlearn behaviors, bro. We perpetuate behaviors as we get older. It's hard to unlearn them. These are the lessons that we teaching with beating and fear and imposing fear on people. Fear is a tactic that's used for control. This is how you control people, through fear.
Don't you want to control your kids?
No, I want them to understand. I don't want to control them. I want them to be. I want them to think. I want them to learn. I want them to grow. Right. I don't want to control them. I want to guide them. Know what I'm saying? And that's different. Right. Fear is a tactic that's used to control people. This is how the government controls people. This is how gangsters control people. This is how people control people in their relationships, through fear. Fear of taking something away. Fear of not providing. That fear is what keeps women locked in. Fear of losing whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's a tactic that's used all over the world. Fear. Facts. With love, it's a different thing. Fear, you know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. But with fear, that's how you control people. You control them through fear. That's how you control the streets. That's the only way for a street motherfucker to move out here and do whatever he do. He has to impose fear on the community, on everybody around, so that everybody know not to play with him. That's just a tactic. He might not even really be like that, but he know he can use that to get what needs to be done. That's the same thing, you know what I mean, with your kids. They learn. I learned. See, at one point, I was afraid of these beatings and all that. I was able to be controlled by my mother after one of those and do this and do that, and because I was afraid of the next one. Right. And then when the next one came, and
it wasn't as bad as the last one.
I didn't die, and then the next one came, and I'm not scared of that no more. I can't be controlled by that.
You get to doing shit for the beating. I'm gonna go in here and get this.
But I also learned a lesson in that. Is that now I can go out and control people with that same tactic, with that same thing that she was doing, making me do whatever she wanted me to do because I got beat. I can go out on the street and do that to people. I could put that fear in people on the street and make them do whatever I wanted to do. And that's That's why, like, I'm like really against that, because we learn and it's hard to unlearn them things. So the young boys that's 15 and 17, that's out of control, and their whole thing is fear and imposing fear and dominance over people. They learned that, bro. They learned that from somebody. Somebody taught them that whole tactic. It was imposed on them, and then they came outside and imposed it on everybody else.
Damn.
So.
Sheesh. Preach.
So when you talking about with kids,
Preach.
if you start beating them early, and now they immune to that and learn that that tactic is what's known to get what's done, you now use that out in your life. You start doing it, you know what I mean, straight like that. So we got to start learning how to discipline our kids in a different manner, so that they learn as they get older, this is the way to do it, and think your way out of it, not violence. Our first thing is violence. Where do we get that from? Where do we learn that from?
In the house.
That the first reaction we supposed to do is violent when something go wrong, when somebody disrespects us, when somebody does something that we don't like. That's what your parents do. They beat you. You do something they don't like, they beat you. You say something you weren't supposed to say, they beat you. Now when you get older, what do? Soon as somebody say something they don't like, you beat them. Soon as motherfucker do something you don't like, you beat them.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Deep.
I'm just saying. At least it was for me. That's how it went for me. You know what I'm saying? That's how it worked for me, and I analyze, and that's how I look. When I look back on my life, I see that's why I was, you know what I'm saying? That's why. It's part of it. I ain't saying it's the main part, but that was part of my learning. I learned that, you can control people with fear. And I don't want my kids like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my daughter, I remember one day I got mad at her. My youngest daughter, Unique, she like super, super sensitive, you know what I'm saying? And I got mad at her. She did something. I'm like, baby, didn't I tell you don't do that? This is why I told you don't do that. See what just happened? And I'm pointing out the lesson to, man, she was looking at me in such a manner, bro, like she was scared. The shit had me bent up, bro. Like, ho. Let me even slow down how I'm talking to you. Fuck how I'm beating you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me curb how I'm talking to you. If that's how you feel from the message I'm trying to give you. I mean, this lesson I'm trying to teach you, that afraid. You know what I mean? That shit had me going. I had talked to my wife, but I'm like, damn, she was all scared and shit, and I ain't like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't like that shit.
Yeah, I don't think nobody. I believe, right. The one time I did beat my daughter, that was the only daughter I ever had to, do anything to. I never believed that men should put their hands on their daughters, because you're teaching your daughters that it's okay.
For man to put it,
put their hands
I like
on
that.
Lessons are hard to unlearn.
Right. So I spent a lot of time with that daughter to teach her. You feel me? Like that's not how a man should treat you. You shouldn't accept that from anyone. You shouldn't accept it from me. But I couldn't get to you, and you were like she was being real rude, real bossy in class, and so I brought her home, right? And I have to live with that. Same thing with my son, right? Teaching him respect. But everything. If it comes to a point where that's all you can do, then you can't back away from that, because that then shows the kids that you're kind of, again, not in an authoritative position in their life, right? I tell you what to do. And that's another thing that we deal with, right? The fact that every other tribe of people, right, doesn't have a problem with telling their kids what to do, what you should go to school for. You look at the Chinese houses and the Indian houses and different people in our community or in our world. They tell their kids what to go to school for. They tell their kids, oh, you're going to go to school to be a doctor. You go to a hospital, it's a bunch of cons walking around the joint. You feel me? You look at it right now. There's not a whole lot of black people, black doctors in a hospital. And the hospitals here in America. So we have the same chances, the same opportunities as everyone else. We're just not doing the same thing. So you ask yourself, why? Why are we falling behind in that situation? And I say it's over the parents not understanding that they are the beginning and the end result for their kids to have success in their life. If you're not putting your kids in a good place, then they are not going to go to a good place, right? So You got to talk to your kids. You got to make sure you're preaching to your kids when they're young, right? This is right. This is wrong. This is good. This is bad, right? All of those things. So they're not learning out there in the street and they're not following little Johnny who don't give a rat's ass and tell them, nah, we can do this, we can do that. You don't got to do this. So don't let the outside raise your kids when the parents should raise their kids. And I think that's a big thing. You spoke earlier.
I love that.
You spoke earlier about co-parenting. How me and the mom should be able to disagree. But if we disagree between each other. We don't
Exactly.
let the kids
Not in front
see
of
that. And then when I leave and you have the kids, you're not saying, well, your dad, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And when you leave, I'm not saying, well, your mom, da, da, da. Nah.
It's very effective.
Picking your mom
in
up.
a major way.
Picking your mom up, picking the dad up. I don't care if the dad ain't got nothing to do with the kid. If the dad ain't even around. If the dad trying to find himself and figure his life out, right? Talking bad about the dad in front of the kid.
It's very harmful.
Very harmful for your child, not for the dad.
Right.
But for your child.
Exactly.
You feel me? So, we got to think about what we're doing in front of our kids. And I said, you got to start early, bro. Like very early, 2, 3, 4 years old. You feel me? If you don't start there, if you let them go crazy at 2, 3, 4 years old, then they will do whatever they want.
Nah, bro, I mean, what you expect, right, when you see a little 2-year-old fucking twerking, can barely talk and quoting Sexy Red songs and shit in front of a motherfucker, in front of adults, they moms and them. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. So yeah, if that's your learned behavior at that point, bro, how at when you 5 and you talking crazy, or 7 when you gonna beat them? No, you let this go on here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I said,
That's what I mean.
Right.
It ain't about beating nobody. You to introduce this to your baby. How your baby gonna find Sexy Red if you don't put Sexy Red on for your baby?
Facts.
How is your baby gonna hear this music if you don't play this shit for your baby? You see what I'm saying? So, and now when they 5 and 6 and 7, and that's all they been on for them years, and they in a school now saying that shit, you wanna go up to school and beat them. Now you want to go up to school and whoop their ass after you've been letting them say this shit at home and sing these lyrics and do all this shit.
That's why they done but Coco Melon in my car.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man.
Feel me? Like I don't like it.
Cause to me it feel like it's a out for a parent, bro. Like to be like, I'm doing something. Nah, I bet you dropped the ball already. Nah, my nigga, you dropped the ball already.
Now you gotta pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't making up for that shit beating nobody at 10. Know what I'm saying? Like, you dropped the ball. You, during these developmental years, you ain't do, man, I'm guilty of it. You guilty of it. You guilty of it.
Absolutely.
Know what I'm saying? You was away. I was away. During developmental years, motherfucker, that's my fault. Wasn't no beatings or none of that shit gonna change that. I was supposed to be there. God and my motherfucking son. He wouldn't need no beatings if I'm right there. If I'm walking him through step by step. And when he making a mistake, not whoop his ass for it, sit him down and show him what the right thing is.
Right.
What the right way is.
Right. She being accountable now.
Yeah, so if I'm there that whole time, now I'm saying he don't be for what happened to him. I don't put it on his mama. I don't put it on his grandmama or none of them ladies or whatever that was helping raise him or whatever. That's on me.
Right.
I wasn't there to do that, know what I'm saying? So they probably was beating him and trying to beat him. That shit, I just explained, that shit don't work. I was supposed to have been there walking him through that shit, you feel me?
Hey, man, guess what? Shit, at the end of the day, man, one thing about parenting, that shit don't stop. So where I'm at now, like, my son's grown now, and one of my biggest regrets is the fact that I felt like I should have been preparing myself better to have something in line for them when they was able to start working. That's actually I would say one of the biggest regrets of me being a parent. You hear that, P?
Yeah.
I really wish that I would have, put myself in a better position to, if they was going to have a boss and work for anybody, it would have been me.
Right.
You dig me? And that makes sense, right? You know what I'm saying? Because now, for instance, if they don't have jobs that they don't like, and if they're not working up to a certain expectation, they can get fired. I'm mad that You know, and I was moving around, and I had some opportunities, and I did some things.
Look at it like this, though.
Let me finish right quick. I did some things, and I wish that I just wish that I attained more things like that could have been legitimized, whereas though they could fall right up into that when they start when they became of age to start working. So that way, bam, you know what I mean? You working for me, and if you working for me, this is ultimately yours afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I got to go on, and we all passing through.
Right.
You feel me? They both got my last names. The name is just inherited.
Right.
Bam. Next thing you know, you next in line. Whereas though, I attained the property. I went through some things. Shit, I was doing, just trying to get my shit all the way together now. Everything legitimized. Everything, just be in a place, in a position. It's not too late for me to do that.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that with us, regardless of how great things is with our kids, or how it may be some areas of gray, a little struggle with our kids, regardless of what it may be, not financially wise, just with relationship wise, or goals to be set up with said children. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though we always still have the opportunity to make shit better. I don't give a fuck. We responsible for one day at a time. We know that. That's my motto. One day at a time, we making shit better, putting the shit in line. Whether we strengthening the relationship, strengthening the bond amongst parent and child. You know what I mean? Just having them talks, having them be in a point where as though they can just talk to you freely and not have to worry about how much dad gonna judge me or how much he gonna scold me or get on me. Just really just listening right now, because they got feelings too, and they always have feelings. And I don't, one of my regrets also is using those methods of parenting that my ancestors, grandparents and aunts, great aunts and mom and them use. Just basically shut up and stay in the child's place. Nah, we shouldn't have done that shit. That shit is corny. Let these children speak.
I think generations change.
Yeah.
And things change with generations.
Well, even with generations change, it's still always certain individuals that still use the same methods, or may not at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those things, I grew up like that. You know what I mean? We didn't even really like fucking noise in my grandparents' house. Noise was too much. I'm talking about being loud and obnoxious for nothing.
Right.
Whereas though I'm so different from that now. Y'all know I'm a loud motherfucker when I want to be.
Right.
But when I'm really trying to get my point across, I'm speaking stern, cool, calm, collective, to the point where as though a lot of people don't even know this side of G Code.
Right.
That I could be really straight up serious and get to a point and talk intellectually, all of the above. You know what I mean? But growing up, man, shit, that was. Outside was such a motherfucking relief.
Right.
And I could dance, laugh, scream, shout. I'm talking about on my grandma's crib. They ain't like no fucking noise. My great grandma, my great aunts, man, that's shit out of 10 of them, man. 5 of them have no children. You feel me, real? Matter of fact, hold on, might be 6.
Right.
Don't have no children. They ain't had no patience with the kids. So we had to shut the fuck up around there. Sit down, shut up, stay in the child's place. I ain't gonna lie. Ultimately, that helped me in certain degrees. I knew when and when not to, to fuck around. To be, you know what I'm saying? Because if you fuck around, eventually you gonna fuck around and find out. But yeah, man, go ahead, good brothers. Just thinking about the childhood, thinking about the parenting, all of the above. Man, I just wish I would put myself in a better position where my sons could have worked for me instead of signing up and looking for applications and doing all that shit. So whoever still got that chance in time, man, we all still got the chance, but whoever learning now with their kids still young in the teenage stages or even younger, try to be best to put yourself in a position where as though when your kids get out of school, whether it be high school, college, whatever, whenever they can start working even, have them more so be in a position, put yourself in a position they can work for you.
Right.
Opposed to taking chances on getting fired and hired by somebody else and dealing with somebody else's attitude.
And I watched Dame Dash do an interview on Drink Champs, and he was asking, he's like, "Do you own this? Can you bring your son here and give him a job? Can you do these things? These are the things we should be striving for, right? I'm a boss. Can't nobody tell me that I'm fired and not to come in, right? But they can tell you you're fired. They can replace you. You can not come in here. You can come in here tomorrow and not have a job. You feel me? So I think that's essential, right? That's how you teach your children who they are. By who you are, right? And it's passed down to generation through generation. So that's why this radio station is here. You feel me? I'm not forcing my kids to come into the radio station to help me, right? But once they come in and they get to loving it and they get to see it, right? They're like, oh yeah, this is dope. All right, I want to do this, right? And it's here for them. They can do whatever they want to do in this joint. You can run it if you want to. You feel me? But you know, when you have your own business and your own dream, you want for your kids to be able to take part in that. You feel me? Like, you should strive for that.
They ain't gonna do nothing but make y'all shit better.
Right, that's it.
Your kids ain't gonna do nothing but come in here, man, learn this shit, man, see what you passionate about, and find ways that they can get involved and be passionate about it too. Same thing with Secure the Bag, bro. You got you and your wife have your own company. Your kids being involved ain't gonna do nothing but have that shit upgraded, rise to a higher level.
Me personally, like, when I'm done, and I don't care what they do with it, sell it, whatever. My thing is, I'm first generation. I didn't have a father. Everything I learned was from the muscle. Every tactic and tool I use, I'm the first doing it. I'm first generation. I'm laying the foundation for the family. You know what I'm saying? They're going to now take up the mantle in whatever form they choose, know what I'm saying, to push us and propel us. I'm going to lay the foundation. That's all I can do because I'm first generation. Nothing was passed to me. Everything had to be built from the ground, from the muscle. Know what I mean? I didn't inherit nothing, or nobody gave me nothing or no leg up. So all I can do and what I'm really focused on is, like I said, laying the foundation to make their path easier for what they trying to do. I'm not going to be able to have all the answers or have it in a space to where as though, you feel me?
Facts.
But I will always be the, what you would say, the safety net. You know what I'm saying? I'm the safety net, bitch, the spot, y'all, bitch, lose y'all spots, bitch, y'all come back here. You know what I'm saying? Regroup, reset. You know what I'm saying? I laid the foundation for a family situation as opposed to me growing up. You know, something happened. It's, you know what I mean? You don't know. If something happened to mom, bitch, shit crazy. I know that's what it was for me. Everybody wasn't like that, but for me, something happened when I was young. Something happened to mom, bitch. It was
pandemonium.
Yeah, I ain't know what would have happened, bro. You feel me? So that's my thing, just laying a family foundation, show my kids, know what I'm saying, what it is to have a father in their life, somebody who love them, a man who care about them, trying to pour into them. I ain't got all the answers for them. I can't give them everything. I ain't rich, you know what I'm saying, but I laid a foundation. I believe in love, that they know that, yeah, they loved people, that people really care about them and want them to succeed. And I put that into them, know what I'm saying? They might ain't get everything all the other kids. But that was another tactic. Remember I told you that, bro. I wasn't about to overcompensate, man. Right. I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to go and run and give them everything. Nah, you gotta work for some of this shit.
Gotta work for some of that, right?
Life ain't given to you like that. Know
definitely ain't.
That's what I mean by growth. Like, we hamper our kid, teaching your kid that young, that age, that Gucci this, Fendi that, just what you're supposed to have. Like, what the fuck they
set up for failure? Be honest,
bro. I mean, what you
if they don't automatically become a six-figure motherfucker soon as they got out your house, then it's a setup for them to struggle because they will want to sustain that lifestyle that you already introduced them to.
Right.
Whew.
Graduate.
That could be a whole topic.
Yeah,
bro.
you graduate.
That could be a whole session right there.
Right.
I can go on shit like that right there. I see it all the time.
Yeah, you graduate to that, bro.
Man,
why you buying your? See, the only reason that you buying your 3-year-old this whole Gucci outfit is a thing with you.
Say it again.
It's a thing with you.
It's a thing with you.
Yeah, that ain't about your baby.
Nothing about you.
You could have put a fucking Mickey Mouse dress on that baby. That baby would have been beautiful and pretty, and everybody would say, "Oh my God,
she looks so cute."
He looks so. You didn't have to spend $4,000 on that goofy shit. That's for you.
I don't know, especially for a child that doesn't have any understanding of what the hell they have
That's
on.
a you thing. Remember,
or a child that's growing.
Remember back when you was young and you ain't have it and how you felt. Like, I know, me and my man Z's was just talking about this. That he said my thing is sneaks. Me too. Know what I'm saying? I buy sneaks all the time. I don't really give a fuck about clothes too much. We manufacture clothes and all that, but sneakers all the time. And the reason being is because when me and Z's, S, and a couple of us that was in our squad, bro, we was hard pressed to get sneaks. We was really from the trenches. We really came in the streets because we didn't have shit. and getting a pair of sneaks like R&M, yeah, they kept Jordans and all that shit. But us, no. That's why as soon as we got older and got some money, bro, that's all the fuck we buy. You see Z's sneaker collection, it's all this motherfucker buy because when we was little,
no doubt. Shout out to Bay
yeah,
Zeno.
because when we was little, we ain't had that shit. Same thing with your kid, man. You giving them that shit and giving them that shit because you ain't have it. Know what I'm saying? Like, not me. I'm gonna get you what you need, and yeah, that's gonna be that. It's gonna be dope, but I ain't about to spend $500 on those sneaks for you. That's a fucking thing. It ain't happening.
And we learn. You learn from your mistakes, bro. You see things differently. And that's I was listening to my cousin the other day. She was talking to me. She was like, that's why you got to make sure you raise your child so you can spoil your grandkids. You don't spoil your child, so you have to raise your grandkids. Mm-hmm. I said, damn.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's deep.
I said, damn, that's hard.
I like that one.
She was like,
never heard that one
I
either.
mean, that's that you raise your children, right? You raise your children to understand that. And then when the grandkids come, you can buy them all this stuff. Well, you ain't never buy that for me. That's because I was raising you. I can spoil this one. You'll do the same one. You'll raise her. You'll spoil her kids. Or you'll spoil him and, raise him and spoil his kids. So it's just, that's how you do it. And I remember my grandma doing the same thing. My mom always used to say, you ain't never do that for us. She was like, that wasn't my job. This is my grandkid, so I got to make sure he understands. You feel me? Like, and this is my only grandson, so I'm going to make sure he feels the love. You feel me? So I get it. I didn't get it at first, but I get it now. And it makes perfect sense. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Right. Voices of the Street, man. I want to thank Gio. I want to thank G Code. Great conversation, bro. Great conversation. We will do this every Friday. You know what time? 1 o'clock.
Yeah, around that time. Yeah.
1 o'clock. Around
Tune
that
in.
time. Right. Tune in. You know what I mean?
You know us, we ish.
Yeah, we ish. One-ish.
Grown man conversation, man.
One-ish.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, this is definitely an awesome
like that.
conversation. And like I said, there's 3 different points of views, right? And we're not arguing when we say, I say yeah, they say no, he say no, I say. We could all have a yes, no, and a maybe. We can all have different answers for the situation. But that's what community does, right? We're not all the same. We all different. We all see things different. We feel things different. We hear things differently. So, it's cmpradio.net. This is Voices from the Street.
Yeah.
Catch us next Friday, man.
Yeah.
We're out of here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.